So this is JamsHams Judgement, a weekly review podcast hosted by yours truly. This is the general gist of what is going to happen. Basically every week I review a thing, and obviously this week the big thing was E3, which is wrapped up yesterday, I think. And there's a lot of news, a lot of new games, a lot of stuff to be going over. So that's what we're reviewing this week. I'll start off by saying I didn't watch all of it due to timing issues. Obviously, it was in American time, and I have work at weird hours, so I couldn't watch all of it. And the ones I did watch, I had to stay up late, and then only had 2 hours sleep because of it. I can't say that was worth it. But yeah. So I think I watched. What ones did I watch? I watched Ubisoft, Xbox, a little teeny tiny bit of Square Enix. I watched another one as well, but I can't remember. And then no, I didn't watch Nintendo. But I heard that was one of the most. Well, I've heard that was one of the best. Conferences. So we'll get on to that. Thought we'd just go. Well, it wasn't okay. I just saw a few. I'm going off of the just list of things that got announced. I thought I've seen people get hyped about a few of the things at least. So today I thought we'd just go through a list of sort of the main announcements and share our thoughts. Anime games. I mean, yeah, I saw that. There's a lot of Asian inspired or Asian made games throughout all of the conferences. It was a bit of a theme this year, I think. There are a few games that I don't think are technically new, but they just aren't released over here. I think there's a few games, I can't remember what they're called, but there's a few of them that got announced at E3, which are just they're already huge over in China and that over east, and they're just basically releasing them over here. I don't know if they're good, but hey ho. Right, so yeah, let's start with Nintendo, shall we? So, yep, the biggest one was Breath of the Wild 2, obviously got announced, and I just watched the trailer for it, actually. It looks pretty sick. It looks kind of spooky as well. There was a spooky zombie demon. That was pretty spooky. Minecraft 2, kinda. We'll get onto that. But yeah, I didn't play the first one. The last Nintendo thing I owned was a Game Boy Color. So, I've never been a big Nintendo fan, but I did watch people play Breath of the Wild, and it did look pretty sick. If I was going to buy a Switch or something, those would be the games that would, draw me in. Because it's kind of my type of game. But yeah, the trailer for that looked pretty freaking sick and kind of spooky. The original Wii, that's something. There are still games being released for the Wii. The new Just Dance is coming out for the Wii, and that's insane to me that new games are still coming out for the Wii. It's crazy. Apparently there's a sweet reason behind it though. Apparently Just Dance 2020, I think it is coming out on Wii, because a lot of hospitals use Just Dance as a therapy, physical therapy kind of tool. And obviously a Wii is going to be a hell of a lot cheaper to buy than a Switch or whatever. So it's just them making it more affordable and accessible for everyone. if they want to use it like that, which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, very thoughtful, and pretty cool. I guess it's not like an intensive game, so yeah, by all means, put it on the Wii. Right, so looking through the Nintendo list, obviously, like I said, no real connection for me for Nintendo. So I mean, not a lot of these are jumping out at me. I know a lot of people were hyped about the new Animal Crossing and Luigi's Mansion. But like I said, for me personally, don't care. Like I'm never gonna play them. Never played the previous. Never gonna play these. Obviously heard that they're good, but don't really care. I guess another big news that was it Witcher 3 coming out on Switch. That would be a damn good game. That would be cool to play. It's like it's kind of like when Skyrim was announced for the Switch, that sort of thing. Just a game that like you're like, oh shit, I can play that on the go. That's bitchin'. I want to be like on a train going somewhere and slaying some monsters. That's gonna be bitchin'. It's a game infinite, The Witcher. It's no, it's not like Dark Souls. Not really, unless you count like Dark Souls being he has swords and a bit of magic. So yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. It's like a huge game, series and book series as well, and it's going to be a Netflix series. So yeah, it's pretty big. Would recommend also. I know WerePanther has recently gotten into Witcher 3. Very good game. Very good game. So yeah, did anyone else have any Nintendo news they were excited about? Apart from Breath of the Wild? That's the thing with a lot of these E3 announcements. A lot of these games were already announced, and then they just got either like a new bit of trailer or a new release date, or something. So obviously we've got the new Pokemon Sword and Shield that got a new release date. Yeah, I mean that's what in essence that is what E3 is. It's just a huge advert for everyone's things that they're bringing out. But it's nice to have news, and I think this year, at least I found it was more adverty than you actually getting info, because there wasn't actually a lot of gameplay. There were a lot of cinematic trailers that didn't really tell you much about the game, and it's like, okay, so that just pretty much told me nothing about the game, and that it's just coming out at this time and I should buy it for some reason. But yeah. JonTron's piece that wasn't even games devs. There's a lot of that. The filler in between the big conferences is just stupid. What was it after the was it after the Ubisoft thing? Yeah, it was after Ubisoft, where they had like this tournament, and there was they just randomly had T-Pain, the rapper, playing in the tournament, and it's like, what? How is this relevant at all? Why is T-Pain here? So yeah, I definitely didn't watch the in-between stuff. That's not good. Okay, so yeah, Nintendo, I don't really have anything much to say, because I don't really know much about Nintendo or have much interest. But getting on to one that I did watch, the Microsoft/Xbox conference, I guess, was probably up there with the best ones, if not the best one. They announced a hell of a lot. They had 60 games that they announced and gave little snippets of altogether, which is crazy. they did it like they had a lot of stuff, but they did it in like a quick way. They didn't like drag it out. So it's like, oh, here's a game, here's a game, here's a game, here's a game, here's a game. So I appreciated that, especially as I needed to go to sleep when I watched it. So I guess the biggest news for people, or one of the biggest news, is the new Xbox console, nicknamed Project Scarlet. As a PC player, it didn't really impress me like at all with what they were saying. It's not the official name. It's just I think that's just like the running name. It's just the project name. I'm sure it'll be called like Xbox 362 or whatever when it actually comes out. It's coming out Christmas next year, I believe. So they said a few things about that. But you know, if you've played on PC, you're like, all the things they were saying, it's like, well, that's been a thing for like 10 years. It's like, one of the big things was like, we have an SSD. It's like, I had an SSD on my like laptop like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, really? That's your big selling point? You should have had that in the last one. And yeah, it's just, I'm sure it's definitely an improvement for the consoles. Like higher frame rates and 4K, whatever, blah 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 blah, buzzwords. But you know, if you've got a PC and you've played PC, you just lose all the wow factor of all that. It's like, well, okay, I can do that now and more. But yeah, that's what they've got. That's the thing with consoles. They've got to keep the level so it's like the most affordable. You know, it's a lot more affordable than PC, at least. So you know, so with that reveal, they also revealed the new Halo, Halo Infinite. It looked fine. Again, no gameplay because it's like too far away or whatever. Just a cinematic trailer. Looked exactly like every other Halo. Not much to say. I'm sure if you're a Halo fan, it'll be fine or, you know, good. And obviously, it's gonna be like the flagship game when they actually release it. So yeah, I guess that's exciting. Why do consoles even exist? Well, to be affordable. It's a more, you know, and you can just go out and buy a PS3 and everything will work off the bat. Whereas like, you don't need to think about parts and all that. So it's just the ease of it, I suppose, and the uniform nature just across the world. Like you can make sure everything works together because everything's the same. That's why they exist. User ready. There we go. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Gears of War 5. Again, Gears of War not really interested me much. Just a shooty monster, slicey monster game. Don't know anything about the story, but I definitely saw people were hyped about that, and the story I know people follow. So yeah, I guess that was pretty cool. Again, I don't think we got any gameplay. That's going to be a big theme of this E3. There was hardly any gameplay, which is just, it makes it a bit pointless. Blair Witch, based on the movie, looked like every other generic horror movie. Looked like a budget, like Outlast, guy with a camera looking around the woods for spooks. This one I was pretty hyped about. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, which will have all 9 of the main films. Pretty bitchin'. And they're not just, I mean, if you haven't played the Lego Star Wars games, that you're missing out because they're fucking great. Any Lego game is pretty great, honestly. Pretty solid games. And what I liked about this most is that they're not just taking the old Lego games and putting them into it, they're completely redoing them, apparently. So, yeah, that's pretty good. That'll be pretty cool. And I'm just hoping, because Lego games as well are great co-op games, but they've never, for whatever reason, they've never put in online co-op. So please, please Lego, can this be the one where we have online co-op? Please. I'd love to play some online co-op on stream or something. Oh man, it would just be... That's the dream. That is the dream. Bleeding Edge? What was that one? Can't really remember what that one was, to be fair. Battletoads. See, Battletoads was like a big meme, like back in the day, I suppose. So I think they expected a bit more hype from it, but when they revealed it, the audience was just like pretty much silent. They were like, "Cool, Battletoads, nice, cool." So I don't think they got the reaction they expected from that one. This was a bit of a letdown for me. Age of Empires. I saw the Age of Empires thing, and I love and played the shit out of Age of Empires 1 and 2, and the HD edition of 2 as well. So I saw Age of Empires and I was like, oh shit, they're finally doing Age of Empires 4. This is it, which they are apparently making. But no, it was another Age of Empires 2 like remake, another one. So Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition with slightly better graphics and physics and sound. So yeah, that disappointed me personally a lot. I thought it was going to be Age of Empires 4, but it's 2. Not even like 1 or 3. It's just 2 again. This one looks pretty cool. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Talking about back in the day, that used to be something people played and very beloved. Literally just a flight sim that you fly around in planes. Yes, a new flight simulator from Microsoft, and it looks amazing. It looks crazy. Like the graphics look amazing. And depending on how much it is, I might really consider getting it. Because you can, well, by the looks of it, you can literally just fly around the world, like, and seemingly anywhere you want. It had a thing where it said it was like powered by satellite imaging, so it's like, I think it's an open world. And it is the world. You can go anywhere. And the graphics are great. They showed loads of landmarks. I think they showed someone flying around New York, and it apparently has online co-op. You can fly around, do stunts with your friends around any landmark you want. It looks crazy. It looks really fun. That's what I was thinking, Carius. I was like, I wonder if I can fly over my town and see my house. That would be crazy. They don't use Google Earth. They use a similar thing. I can't remember what it's called. But basically they use a satellite imaging, which is basically Google Earth, but not Google Earth, but just another company that did the same thing. So yeah, that looks pretty bitchin'. It wasn't Yahoo Maps. It was probably something similar to that though. Release date? No idea. No idea. A lot of these games were pretty vague with release dates, just early 2020 or sometime in 2020. It's a safe bet that it's probably going to come out next year at some point. Okay, so here it is, Carius. Here it is. Minecraft 2. Confirmed. No, not quite Minecraft 2. Minecraft Dungeons. So basically a dungeon crawler set in the world of Minecraft. Pretty good. Looks pretty bitchin'. And again, co-op. Looks like a really good co-op game. Again, depending on price and when it comes out, I think it would be a really good game to get and play on stream. Yep, yeah, pretty much just Minecraft Diablo. That's essentially it. Yeah, that's like I said, Fritz. A lot of these games, or just announced already, and then just they get a little teeny tiny bit more for E3 and or a release date or something. Just they add a little something. That's why this E3 wasn't too exciting, but at least there was gameplay, which is more than a lot of these. Let's see, what else is there? This one I think had people confused. Forza Horizon 4, which is the racing game, which has amazing graphics and really realistic graphics, now has a Lego expansion. So it's just a Lego car. It looks kind of cool. Looked kind of fun. I mean, I'm not gonna go out and buy Forza for it, but hey, it's just a fun little thing they added on. This is, I said about how people in China have these massive games that we've never heard of. This is one of them, apparently. Crossfire X. Apparently really big over in Asia. I've never heard of it. Some sort of shooter. Again, we only got a cinematic trailer, so no gameplay or anything. So, no idea. Again, no idea if that's going to be good. And then a Gears of War mobile game. There are a few mobile games. It's don't put mobile games at E3. No one cares about mobile games. Don't do this. It's so hard to make a mobile game look epic. They tried, but man, don't try and make mobile games look epic. It's not going to work out for you. Not going to work out for you. I'm going to say this. This list I've got is broken down into developers rather than the actual conferences they were at. So obviously there was a big one that was announced at Microsoft's thing, but it's further down in the list we'll get onto. So we got a bit more from Borderlands 3. As far as I'm aware, Carius, I didn't see any Minecraft Earth stuff. I guess that's just very early days, so they can't really show anything other than what they've already shown. I didn't see anything of it. So yeah, Borderlands 3, bit more stuff. But again, that's all been already announced. All the trailers are out. Gameplay has been shown already, because a lot of developers are just doing their own thing rather than going to E3. So that was basically just a big advert. What else is there? 1 second. So. Yes, we will get onto that, Pete. Yes. So, EA had a fairly large conference, I guess. Kinda, yeah. It was a bit so-so. New Star Wars game, Fallen Order. Obviously had their 15-minute gameplay, finally, trailer, which was nice. Looks good. A lot of people were complaining about it. But I, for one, think it looks really good. Especially some of the extra footage that they released looks pretty good. Graphics obviously look amazing. Graphics are always going to be amazing. It's say what you want about the Battlefront games. I personally love them. well, not love them. I played a lot of them and I liked them, but the graphics were like breathtaking. It's crazy. So I mean, I've heard people compare it to sort of Dark Souls, but I think that's not a fair comparison. They're saying that because it's like pretty much you have to sort of think about your combat when you go and fight like a few bosses at once or whatever. In that sense, I guess it's like Dark Souls, but difficulty-wise, I don't think it's going to be like Dark Souls. That's just what people are saying. Yeah, but yeah, it looks good. I think it looks good, and I'm probably gonna get it when it comes out, and probably stream it because it's a story game. So it'll be good for streaming, I reckon. Other EA stuff. Obviously, they do a bunch of sports games. They're the same every year, so I don't really care about any of the sports games. Apex Legends Season 2. Again, don't really care. New Battlefield 5 DLC. Again, don't really care. New Sims 4 DLC. Again, don't really care. So pretty much the only EA thing that had me excited was the Star Wars. Wii Sports 2, sadly not. Pete, I can't tell if you're joking, because I know nothing and I don't care. I'm not joking when I say I don't give a shit about sports games. Oh dear, they could not interest me less. The closest to any sports game I like is Rocket League. That is like the only sports game that I like. So if it's not Rocket League, I'm not interested. Rocket League is better than any FIFA. It's FIFA but with rocket cars. How can it not be better? Okay, so now is the big one. This was the most hyped about and memed about game and reveal of the whole thing. So CD Projekt Red, who make the Witcher series, Infinite, if you didn't know. Obviously, they had previously announced Cyberpunk 2077, and people were getting pumped about that. But it had its first like major reveal today. No, not today. At E3. So we got, and again, cinematic. So not much. Did we get any gameplay for it? I don't think we did. So big cinematic trailer, but at the end, big reveal, Keanu Reeves is in it. He's going to be a main character, which I don't think anyone expected. Crowd obviously went freaking nuts. And then they pulled up the freaking curtain and out comes Keanu Reeves. People went even more nuts. I was there on my phone like, whoa, what the fuck? It's Keanu Reeves. What the fuck? It's perfect timing. The internet at the moment was loving Keanu Reeves anyway. All riding high on John Wick coming out, and he's gonna be on Toy Story as well. Everyone's saying how nice he was in person, and then they revealed that he's gonna be in one of the most anticipated games. And it's like, oh, this is a big year for Keanu Reeves. He is one loved man. So yeah, that was probably the biggest and most hyped reveal of the whole thing. Carius, I honestly don't know if you're joking or not. If you don't know who Keanu Reeves is, you've probably been living under a rock / not been on the internet for like the past 10 years. Star of the Matrix. He is the star of John Wick. He is John Wick. I mean, he's at Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. You might not know, but He's a pretty big deal. Had a few memes about him, the shocked Keanu and then the sad Keanu, and then obviously this has made more memes about him. All around nice fella, Keanu Reeves. No, not heard of him. Okay. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Good actor, good guy. And he caused a lot of hype. But yeah, I'm probably definitely gonna get Cyberpunk 2077. The details I've read about it, it seems pretty great. Just a futuristic thing where you can do what you want within probably a good story, because obviously it's by the guys who made the Witcher games, which I also loved. Great stories, great worlds, like amazing detail, great graphics as well. Not really much to not love about that. So yeah, pretty pumped about that. Probably maybe the most pumped thing I'm hyped about. Let's see here. Bethesda. Bethesda is another big one. Again, didn't watch this live, but I've caught up. They have a game called Deathloop, which I just watched the trailer for. That looks quite interesting. It's basically two different characters caught in like this sort of yeah, this seems to be like a thing recently. There's been a few movies and TV shows about it where like people live a day, then they die, and they just pop back up again. So like Groundhog Day, the game. So the two people are apparently stuck in this Groundhog Day situation and are trying to kill each other, but then like every day they pop back up and do it again, or blah blah blah. It looks interesting, but again, not much, if any. I don't think we got any gameplay again, just a cinematic, so most of these you're just like, huh, that's a pretty cool concept. No idea if the game's going to be good, but that's pretty cool. New Doom game, Doom Eternal, new trailer, I think. Maybe not, I think it was all announced before, but that looks pretty sick. I was wanting to play the first Doom game, but I just didn't. I don't know why. I know the first Doom game is apparently really good and fun to play. Watched people play it. Looks really fun. Just splatting monsters and slicing people in half. And this just seems more of the same, but you know, more interesting ways to kill people and monsters and new weapons. Blah blah blah. Looks fun. Looks fun. Doom is amazing. Yep, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Don't know. I mean, I'll probably maybe I'll get this one just to make up for the fact that I didn't play the other one. Or either way, I'll play both. One of them at least. So Elder Scrolls Blades. That's the Elder Scrolls mobile game. Haven't played it myself. I know a few of my friends play it. It looked fine. Basically looked like Elder Scrolls Online, but on your phone. Great. But yeah, I think it's in beta at the moment, Infinite, or something. You'll probably have to sign up for some sort of thing. But from what I saw, looked quite good. Especially for mobile. Like, graphics look good for mobile as well. Not just the like generic top-down clicky mobile games. So I reckon you'd like it. Fallout 76 got the nuclear winter update. So like, I think, yeah, that's that battle royale. I saw someone play it in between conferences. Seems fine. Just, you know, battle royale. Everyone seems to be doing a battle royale now, so can't really say it's much different from any other battle royale I've seen. If anything, it looks a bit clunkier than other battle royales, so, you know. But I guess if you're a fan of Fallout 76, like Infinite is, it's just a new game mode. So yep, nothing to turn your nose up at. This is an interesting one that I just watched the trailer for. Ghostwire Tokyo. Again, cinematic trailer, so no gameplay again. But the concept of this seems pretty cool. Ghostwire Tokyo indeed. So basically, people are sort of disappearing. Basically, they got Thanos snapped, it seems like, or something. And then all these like monsters and demons are appearing in Tokyo. Graphics look amazing. Seems pretty cool. I think you play as this like guy with a bow, and I freaking love bows in video games, as I've probably mentioned a bunch of times. And you're going around, I guess, hunting demons and stuff. It looks like it could be pretty spooky as well. It looks very, well, quite unique. But, you know, we don't really have much more information about it or gameplay, so who knows? Who knows? Sorry, keep on sniffing. 1 second. Oh dear, excuse me. Okay, so, well, before E3, this was the developer I was mainly excited about, purely for one game. So I was excited about the Square Enix conference, purely for the reveal of the Avengers game. Because ever since they did a little teaser 2 years ago for this Avengers game, they did a little cinematic reveal of like broken shields and shit, and oh man, I was so pumped, and then we got absolutely nothing for a solid 2 years until they just went, oh, by the way, at E3 you're gonna get a freaking trailer for this game, it's coming. So yeah, I timed this actually really well. I start work at 4 AM, and I woke up for work just as they were revealing this game and the trailer for it. So I was watching this at like 3:30 in the morning or whatever, just in my bed eating my cereal. Looks fine. A lot of people were disappointed with it. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Again, no gameplay, so you know you can't really fucking tell. Yeah, people were moaning mainly about the graphics, and I guess I kind of agree. Square Enix is known for having good graphics in their games. They've done a lot of games with like amazing graphics, and just something was just off about the Avengers game. I can't really pinpoint what it is. I think it's something to do with like, obviously people were moaning about the player models. Obviously they're a lot different from the MCU costumes and stuff, which is fine because it's nothing to do with the MCU. But I think we've had so much of the Avengers from the MCU that it's just a bit of a dramatic shift to completely different actors, different designs, different setting, different everything. And people were like, where? This is not the Avengers I grew up with and love. Where? That's not Robert Downey Jr. Where? But yeah, once you get past that, it's not, Pete, it's not that they don't have the rights. There's no need for it to be the MCU people, because it's completely different. It's like Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man game is fucking amazing. It has nothing to do with the MCU Spider-Man. It's not Tom Holland's face. It's not Tom Holland's voice. It's someone completely different. But people didn't moan or whine about that. It's really weird. Like, do you have any idea how much you would have to pay the Avengers casts to have the right to their face for a game, and then if they wanted their voice, do you have any idea how much it would take to have them voice act? Do you have any idea how many hundreds of millions that would be, possibly per actor? I'm pretty sure just to have Robert Downey Jr. in those films, he was charging them hundreds of millions, maybe. It was something like that. It's crazy money. It's crazy money. And there's no need for it. There's no need for it. It's completely separate. So I don't see why people are so angry that it's different. I think they just need to get over it. Honestly. Just look at Spider-Man. Exact same deal. Great game. Great game. Nominated for Game of the Year, I think. But people, no one was moaning that it wasn't Tom Holland playing Spider-Man, so I don't know, people just need to calm down, I think. Story. Something to do with Captain America possibly dies. There's an attack. Not many people like the Avengers anymore, or something. I think there was a guy that looked like Taskmaster, possibly orchestrating the whole thing. There was a big attack, big explosions. San Francisco bridge. I'm talking in-game. Like, the in-game people don't like the Avengers. I'm talking about the story. I'm sure everyone likes the Avengers. Yeah, they were doing something in San Francisco, and the bridge got destroyed while they were like parading around. They basically, took their eyes off the prize for a bit, and shit hit the fan. Again, we don't really know much about it. It was pretty much just a teaser. But it's gonna have 4-player co-op apparently, which is cool. But I can't help but think, or who's gonna be the poor guy that's stuck playing Black Widow? You've got, like, you can just imagine the character selection screen. Everyone's gonna pounce on Iron Man, Thor, and Hulk. And then whoever's left just gets Black Widow with some guns. You've got an unstoppable rage monster, a walking and flying weapons factory, and the God of Thunder. And then you've got Black Widow with her little pew-pew guns. How the hell are they gonna put those together in a game and make it balanced? I don't know. But yeah, who's gonna draw the short straw and play as Black Widow for the whole thing? I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, just just woman that can fight good. I honestly don't know how they're gonna put that in and make it balanced. I don't know, man. But I'm still pumped. I think it's, what was it, May 2020, I think, is the release date on that. Thank you. So, I mean, definitely gonna get it. Unclear if it's set in the same universe as the PS4 Spider-Man. A few hints that it might be. So if you in Spider-Man PS4, if you go to the Avengers Tower in Spider-Man PS4 and take a picture of it, Spider-Man says something about the Avengers being out of town in, I think it's at the West Coast or the East Coast, or yeah, West Coast, it said, which is San Francisco, where this game takes place. So there's a possible link there. Also, I think the Taskmaster is in both games. If that is Taskmaster, he has a very similar design. So it's possible that those villains could sort of tie them together. The other clue that they could be tied together is the fact that the Avengers game is getting some sort of special DLC or add-on for PS4. So my theory is that it's going to be something to do with Spider-Man. Maybe a Spider-Man mission or maybe even character, maybe, for PS4. Because obviously Sony is tied in with the rights for Spider-Man and all sorts. But the Avengers game is getting something special on PS4 and also an early beta on PS4. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if that's actually tied in. But it would be cool if it was, and I really hope it's as good as Spider-Man, because that was one hell of a game, and you know how much I love Spider-Man. And how much of a Marvel fanboy I am, so yeah, hopefully it's good. I'm just going through ones I actually know now. Okay, so Ubisoft. I did watch Ubisoft one. Excuse me. The Ubisoft conference. A lot of generic-looking shooty bang things. New Ghost Recon. Division 2 things. You know, like Rainbow Six Siege stuff. Just shooty bang things. Nothing special. For Honor DLC. Pretty sure that's a dead game, so again. Watch Dogs Legion was probably the biggest sort of reveal for Ubisoft. Yep, looks pretty bitchin', actually. Looks pretty bitchin'. The first time I've actually really been interested in playing a Watch Dogs game. Set in London, which is obviously going to be full of horrible UK stereotypes, which I'm sure are going to irritate me. But hey-ho. Yeah, the main gimmick of the game is that if you can basically play as anyone. So if you die as one character, that character is permanently gone, and then you come back as another agent of this society. And apparently, so they say, every like NPC in the game will become a PC, a playable character. So you could have anyone on your team. There's a lot of meme potential in this game for sure. I've heard a lot of people saying that they're just going to have a full-on granny squad. Yep, Pete the Granny. That was a big part of the trailer, where that you were playing as a granny who was an ex-assassin, I think. There's a lot... So there's a lot of meme potential. You can make a full granny squad. Yeah, that's what I was... Yeah. So as I was watching, you see the chat going, oh my god, granny squad, granny squad. And then the actual conference went... Oh, by the way, you can make a granny squad, and people were like, "Oh, it's true!" So yeah, that definitely generated a lot of hype. That's definitely a unique concept. Not a lot of granny squad games out there, so that should be quite fun. If not to play, at least fun to watch. Again, a lot of these depends. I might play it, but you know, I don't have infinite money, so you know, we shall see. We shall see. Let's see. Roller Champions was a big one. What do you mean? What do you mean? What, Pete? Yeah, Roller Champions was a big one. So Roller Champions is basically Rocket League. Yeah, it did that for me as well, Pete. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Roller Champions looked a bit boring for me. Just like, it looked like a mixture between Lucio Ball and Rocket League, and Lucio Ball was ass because it was so slow. Just basically Rocket League, but you're in a big like donut. It looked really slow and boring. I don't know. It just did not interest me at all. I just play Rocket League. Just play Rocket League. You downloaded it? Oh, I can't. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard many good things. I can't imagine it would be better than Rocket League in any way. Another kind of... I think they were thinking this might have been like a big reveal, but didn't get a massive reaction, is Gods and Monsters. So it's basically... It's made by some of the Assassin's Creed Odyssey developers. And it kind of looks like Breath of the Wild-ish, same sort of graphics. And I think it's going to be like a free roam with like old gods and monsters from like myth and legend. So it could be pretty cool. I guess we'll have to see. Again, no gameplay or anything, obviously. So yeah, nothing to say. A lot of these are just like, okay, that could be interesting, but I guess we'll have to see. Reaching the end of the list now. Don't really care about any of this stuff. Elden Ring. Elden Ring looked pretty decent from some Dark Souls makers and George R.R. Martin doing the story. Obviously, who wrote Game of Thrones, all the Game of Thrones books. That should be pretty good. That's like a match made in heaven. People love both of those things. You put them together, you should have a damn good game. Again, no gameplay. Just a cinematic, gonna be like a high fantasy thing. Elves and orcs and swords and magic rings that you need to destroy. All that good stuff. But it should have a good story. Shouldn't hopefully not be just like a generic story like they usually are, because George R.R. Martin is good at doing stories, and then hopefully that will be paired with good gameplay from the Dark Souls guys. So yeah, should be pretty good. This is one I am pretty pumped about. Dying Light 2. I was a bit late on the uptake with Dying Light, but when I did finally play it, I loved it. Played it on my own and co-op with my friend Luke. Did try and stream it. It didn't work for streaming. For some reason, it didn't play well with OBS, and there were a lot of issues. So that's purely the reason why I didn't stream it. I'd love to stream it. But since then, I've upgraded my PC, so hopefully when Dying Light 2 comes out, which is early next year, I should hopefully be able to stream it. Because I love the first one. The first one is so fun to play. Parkour and zombies, what a combo. And like special weapons, combo weapons, a la Dead Rising, all that stuff. It's great. It's just a great game, and the second one looks good. I've been following all their like social media posts about it, and everything like that. We got a trailer. Story seems interesting about you're the main character, but you've actually been infected by the virus and stuff. So should be good. Should be damn good. Pretty pumped. Great co-op game as well. Great co-op game. I think that's really the main announcements that were at E3 in terms of games and stuff. So I pretty much covered what I'm most hyped for. What about you guys? What do you think? What out of E3 announcements? What are you most hyped for? What's got your blood boiling? What's got your pee stirring? Just Dance 2020? Okay, fair enough. An out there suggestion. Excuse me. Fair enough. If that's what you're pumped for. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with those games. You just pick some popular songs, do a bit of dancing to them. That you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Good for streaming. Well, we all know We all know what type of streamers like to do Just Dance, don't we? Don't we? It's not good into that. Yeah, if you do Just Dance, I'd happily watch that. Don't think I will be personally streaming Just Dance 2020, but hey ho. So yeah, I guess the main, the biggest hype was definitely for Keanu and Cyberpunk. That sort of stole the show. People's reaction to that was crazy. And obviously the memes which I used in my going live post as well. So you know, even your dad is excited for that. Wow, good. The more the merrier. Pre-ordered it. Oh wow. Oh dear. Even though I'm 99% sure it's going to be great, I'm still not pre-ordering anything ever again. I've been burned before looking at you, Tomb Raider. The last game I pre-ordered. God damn. Disappointment. So yeah, that's probably the most exciting moment. I guess let's touch on there are titties. Of course there are titties. Have you played The Witcher 3? There's titties everywhere. Oh, I'd be very disappointed if there weren't titties. There's probably going to be robot titties. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. There might be Keanu Reeves titties. You don't know. It could be crazy. Have I seen the gameplay? No. If it wasn't in the main reveal, I didn't see it. But I'll have to watch it. Obviously, because clearly I'm interested. But like I said, not a lot of gameplay in general. I'm going to touch on things I just didn't like in general about the thing. Everyone seemed to release a fucking Game Pass. It was just like, there was Xbox Game Pass and a Ubisoft Game Pass. It was like, how much money do you think we have? Like, we can't afford all these Game Passes. We're not... It's meant to be, like, affordable, but it quickly becomes not affordable when every single damn company is releasing their own subscription service and Game Pass. Oh, man. I got the $1 Xbox Game Pass for PC, purely so I can play some Sea of Thieves with people at some point. And I looked through the list of games, and all these things are, the big selling point is like, oh, over 100 games that you can play right now. You look through the 100 games, and they're ass. Also, you know, when it says over 100 games, there are 104. It's not like hundreds of games, it's over 100, and that means just over 100. And most of those are the exact same games that you find in every other pass. So they're the exact same games that you'd find in Discord Nitro, exact same games that you find in the Humble Bundle, Trove, exact same games that you find in any of those sort of passes. So it's just not worth it. You get like 3 good games, 3 or 4, maybe 5 good games that you actually want to play, and that's it. And then everybody is doing this, so it's I don't like Game Passes, man. Just buy the games you want to play. Jeez. Oh dear. Also a lot of streaming services, a lot of, like, as in video game streaming services. So it's like, oh, you don't even need a console or a PC anymore. You can play whatever on your phone because you stream it from our servers. It's like, I can't see that ever being great. It's definitely an option. Like the new Google one is getting a lot of releases, and then Xbox is also doing one. But you know, the quality is never gonna be as good. There's always gonna be some lag. It's an option as a cheaper alternative if you don't have access to all of that, but I can't ever see it being more than that personally. And I think, again, with a lot of the companies doing it, I think it's more of a bandwagon thing. It's like, whoa, that company did it, I guess we can do that too. And that'll be paired with all the Game Pass and everything, and you have, at the end of this, if you paid for everything they tried to get you to pay for, you'd end up paying like $100 a month to play like one new game. It's silly. But yeah, overall, not much gameplay, which is disappointing. It's kind of what people were there for. Without gameplay, it's purely just an advert, and it's like, come on. A lot of sequels, a lot of indie games that, it's hard to get excited over. It's very hard to make an indie game look exciting, especially if it's like 2D. It's just that by its very nature, it's very hard to make that look exciting in a big stadium full of people when you've just seen Keanu Reeves pop out and then you put this 2D platformer next to it. It's like, oh, that doesn't seem as exciting. That's just the nature of them. I'm sure they're fine and good games, but it's just they don't look very exciting. It was a bit cringy, as always, but not as bad as previous years, and definitely not as bad as all the Minecon cringe and stuff like that. But I think as nice as it is to get the actual developers out there talking to the crowd, I think they'd definitely benefit from hiring a few more professional speakers to sort of, address the crowd, because they're reading off a script anyway. It's not like they're answering questions or anything. So they definitely benefit for having some professional speakers out there, because like a few of them were so awkward and couldn't speak to a crowd, and so scared, understandably scared, that you couldn't even understand what they were saying. It was just get a professional speaker so we can actually hear what the game's about. Also, no Sony. Sony weren't there this year, and I'd personally be a lot more interested in Sony stuff than like Xbox and Microsoft stuff, so that was a disappointment for me at least. But I'm sure they had a reason, and I think they might be doing their own thing. Yeah, obviously the PS5 is coming out at the same time as the new Xbox. Similar looking specs. Obviously, like I said with the Xbox, not too impressive when you've had that technology in your PC for the last 5 years anyway. But hey ho, it's an improvement on the old consoles, I guess, at least. It's just But yeah, overall, not the most exciting year, but there were some gems in there. And overall, I'm gonna give E3 2019 a 6 out of 10 hams. A 6 out of 10. It was fine. I'm glad I didn't stay up and watch all of it, let's put it that way. So, yeah, if there's anything from you guys, now is the time before I end the podcast there and go on to some video games. So yeah, anything I missed? I probably did miss a lot of things. Anything you're particularly pumped about or want to say before I end? Or are we good to go? Where's Fritz with his cricket sound when you need him? Excuse me. Right. Well, I suppose that's it then. Right. This has been JamsHams Judgement. We have been reviewing E3 2019. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next week reviewing another thing. And if you have a thing that you wish to review, feel free to message me on any of my social medias. I have a suggestion box in my Discord where you can put suggestions for anything stream related or anything really, and that's where you can find all the information. That's my Discord, and then if you go to the linktree/JamsHams, it'll have all my social medias listed there. So I hope to see you around next week. Bye bye.